So the only preschool that was available for him in public school was a total communication preschool. And I went to see that, of course, beforehand, which I hope every parent does, to view the school options and see what's available so that they can navigate and know what they need to do or what they need to say they want or don't want. But I went to the preschool, and there were kids who signed, and I said, well, I don't want him signed to. And they said, well, this is all they have. And I said, well, just don't sign to him. The really great thing was he was reading by kindergarten because we had caption on TV, and that was a great way for him to get information. And so he passed kindergarten, and we moved him to our home school, and he was the first kid with hearing loss and cochlear implant at our school, and he was mainstreamed the rest of his life. It was really important to me that the person that was working with him had knowledge of listening and spoken language. Sometimes in schools they just have a teacher, the deaf, and some have been trained in things, probably not listels, but at least understanding how you work with a child that is oral deaf. So one of the things that I'm so thankful for that we were able to do when he was in elementary school was during our IEP process. I know that often principals or during that process they say you can't know who the teacher is going to be next year for your child. We won't let you know that. I made sure that my son would meet whoever the teacher was before the school year started, and I said I will offer to pay tutoring, tutor an hour tutoring, but all I want them to do is talk to each other so that the teacher understands as she's talking to him how he may or may not understand or even understand the content of what she's saying. Luckily for me, each of his teachers understood that he could learn and realized there might be other ways that he had to learn or other things they had to do, like clarifying if he understood what was said. And the best way they knew that was when they would put a prompt up on the board and write something, and then like in second grade, kids have to write 3 sentences, and there were times he was completely off the mark, and then the teacher realized he didn't understand this one word. At the end of the year, after they told me they were scared to death when they found out that he was going to be in their class, they said having him in the class made them a better teacher because they looked at the students more, clarified, repeated directions in different ways. They always had captioning on, which benefited other students too if they were showing videos. He was interviewed when he was in 4th grade just by a little school newspaper, and they asked him how long he was deaf, and he will say, he goes, well, when I take my implant off, I'm deaf, otherwise I'm hearing. And it's just funny the way he defines and how he thinks of himself. He got implanted so much later than kids now that when people meet him, they used to ask if he was a foreign exchange student in school or later on where he's from, because his accent, he's got a different accent than the way we talk, but he used to say, I'm deaf, and then people would stop talking to him because they were embarrassed that they asked him about his, being his disability, not knowing it was a disability. And that was really hard to explain to him because he couldn't understand why if he said he's deaf, somebody would be embarrassed to talk to him. So now he tells people he's from Luxembourg. And then they keep talking because most people don't know what they speak in Luxembourg. And then later on, after they've been talking, he'll say, no, this is really a cochlear implant, it's how I hear, and then everyone laughs about it.